This video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you're interested in an easy to make yet unbelievably stunning website or online store, Squarespace has you covered. More on that later. You guys, how exciting is this? It's our very first 2-for-1. 2 videos for the price of 1. Which is free because we're on YouTube. What is up, people? Dunna here, and today we're gonna take on 2 topics. We're gonna do the classic what's in my camera bag, but while we're doing that, I'm actually going to do a review as well on my camera bag, the WANDRD PRVKE 31 liter backpack. But before I get into it, I wanna hear from you guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think of this bag? Do you have any experience with it? Let's start a conversation, and while you're on your way down there, hit that like button. So here's what we're gonna get up to. We're actually gonna start with the what's in my camera bag section so that I can use that as a way to overview the bag and show you all the different spots that you can store things and all the different functions of the bag. I'm gonna show you guys my travel setup as well as my everyday setup. Then we're gonna do the review portion by me telling you a bunch of things that I really like about this bag and a bunch of things that I think could be improved or I've had trouble with over the time that I've had the bag. But first things first, we're gonna need the backpack. So this is the WANDRD PRVKE 31 liter backpack. I've had this guy for about half a year now, and I've taken it on trips and I've carried it almost every single day to and from work. So the main compartment of this bag opens up against your back. Now the camera version comes with what they call the medium camera cube, which is actually a removable cube so you can just have your camera gear in there. And if you take this out, it's just an empty spot where you can put more stuff, or you can fold down the middle of these 2 compartments so that you get one bigger compartment. But for the sake of my bag, obviously this is my camera section. Now I'm using both of my cameras, one here and one here, to film this, so I can't show you where my cameras normally go, but trusty old Pentax here shows you where one camera would go. Now normally this would have a bigger lens on it, so it takes up more space, almost right up to the end there. And I actually put it on its side like this. And the reason for that is because of the small size of the mirrorless cameras, it actually still fits, it actually still closes fine. It's not too tall that way. And so I can grab it like this. The second spot that I put a camera when I have a backup is in this one here. Same thing. Because they're so short and because the handles aren't wide, you can fit them in sideways, which is super nice. I can fit them both in with a lens on them. I don't have to carry them just as bodies. And when I've got both cameras in there, I can actually still fit a microphone in on top of the lens of the backup camera. I've got another spot for a lens here and another spot for a lens here. Got my small audio recorder here in this pocket. These are business cards. And then using the moldable Velcro pieces, I've actually created this skinny side compartment. This is full of filters. So I keep a couple of ND filters on me. That goes right in there. And then I've got one extra little pocket that just sometimes holds extra little accessories and stuff. When you open this, it lays fully flat, so it's nice and easy to get at everything. And there's a pocket here for a laptop. I can fit my 15-inch MacBook Pro in there. And there's a second pocket that I think is designed to hold like a tablet if you have one, but I keep a notebook and a gray card in there. And then they've got this piece of Velcro that secures over top of the laptop so that it won't fall out. Now you'll notice I have 2 little pencils up here. These little tabs are actually not for that, and we'll talk about what that's for later. Up at the top of the main compartment, there's a mesh back with a zipper that you can access the top compartment as well. Makes it a little easier if you've already got this section open. There's also this side access pocket to make it easy to grab gear, whatever you want, cameras or lenses out of the side. And inside the side access pocket, there's another zipper with some cool storage for SD cards or batteries or whatever you want to go in there. Going back to the back, there's a spot intended specifically for passports or cash. It's against your back, so it's basically theft proof, which is super nice. And before I put it fully up, there is a zipper on the bottom down here, and that holds the rain cover, which I don't think has ever made it outside of my bag until right now. But it's nice to know it's there. And just above the side access pocket, there's another little zipper that's just a tiny little pouch, and it's got a key clip or whatever you want to clip on there. Sometimes I'll throw my SSDs in that side pocket. Right now they're with my computer, so they're being used, but that's kind of where I would keep those. And if we move to the top, might not be able to see me. At the very top, there's a zipper. It goes to a small felt pouch. This is where I keep a small baggie of extra batteries because I shoot an A6500, so you have to carry tons of them. I think it's designed to keep your phone in there, and that's why it's felt, so it won't scratch your phone up or anything like that. And then the piece de resistance, this is the roll top. So it's got this clip, and then you unroll it. It's too big to fit in the frame. So we went from that to that. And if we remember, the camera cube actually only comes up to about here, so I've got this much extra space to fit things in. In this, I keep my kind of everyday carry pouch, so this has like my laptop charger, all sorts of chargers and extra cables and a notebook on the front, some extra small hard drives and adapters and all sorts of things. And then my Manfrotto Pixie Evo, which is kind of my favorite little vlogging tripod. Maybe until my Switch pod comes. The only other pocket that's here is the very front, and it's the whole front section, which is kind of cool. I think it's designed to keep like magazines or books in. I just keep a camera strap. It is very thin, so you can't fit a whole lot in there, especially if you've packed out the rest of the bag full of stuff. But I do notice that even with the bulk of this strap, it still fits in there fine. It just kind of makes the front of your backpack look a little lumpy, but that's all. And then of course there are compression straps on both sides, so you can put a tripod or strap whatever you want to the sides. As well as on this side, there's actually a small pouch that can hold a water bottle or the bottom of your tripod. And this is kind of cool because it actually zips open and has this meshy kind of elasticy fabric so that it holds it tight. I have a huge water bottle and it doesn't fit in most backpack water bottle things, but it fits in this one and it's nice and snug. But usually what goes in this side pocket is my tripod, and I just switched to this new one. It's a WANDRD VO. This is the first edition, not the second one that just came out. So I just slide this down in here, strap it down, and because of how small this tripod is, it doesn't even come to the top when the roll top is actually all the way down, which is so awesome because it doesn't add like any extra bulk to the bag. But let's take that off for now because I'm throwing this bag around so much. So that pretty much covers all of the pockets and what I keep in them most of the time. And the only thing that's different when I'm traveling is that in the top, I can actually keep 7 days worth of clothes and toiletries so that when I go on trips, I have tons of room to keep everything that I need, instead of having to carry a camera bag full of camera gear and then another bag full of like stuff to live with. I could just take this one thing and it was still just my carry-on. I didn't even have to check it or anything. Now, when I use it as my everyday bag, not much changes in the camera section. The only thing that changes is the roll top. And the cool thing about how big that roll top is that I can fit one of my lights in it. I can fit my gimbal in it. Most regularly, I keep like my lunch, like a bunch of big Tupperwares and a bunch of different stuff in there. Anything that I need to bring to work, which is sometimes more camera gear or sometimes audio gear, and it's all over the place. But it's so nice that there's just like a big empty space that I can just kind of shove whatever I need in there. Now, a couple other things to mention. I said on the inside there were my pencil holders that aren't really pencil holders. There are all these different tabs all over the place on this bag, and those are actually to attach other straps that come with it if you get certain packages. These are those guys. I tried them once and I didn't really like them. Maybe it was user error, but I didn't really need them either. So as you can see, they're just as they were when I got them, basically. The other thing that comes with this, if you get the travel version, is this waist strap. And the cool thing is there's actually a little pouch in there. You can keep SD cards or something like that. Now, before we get into the review section with the things I like and the things I didn't like so much, let's take a second to talk about our sponsor for this video, Squarespace. First off, I've been using Squarespace for a long time now, and I've made several different websites with them. They empower people like you and me by giving us the tools to bring our ideas to life. With Squarespace, you can get a domain, build a site, sell things online, and market your brand. It's actually so easy to make an incredible website with their awesome award-winning templates that are built as a starting point for a wide range of projects. One of my favorite things is how easy it is to update and change your website since you need zero knowledge of fancy coding. And for whatever reason, if you are having any trouble, they have fantastic 24/7 customer support and tons of different webinars and help guides to get you going. I recently started using their new Squarespace email campaigns for my Dunna Did It notification squad. Email campaigns are a great way to stay connected to your community and customers. So if you've been thinking about making your website or online store, make sure to check out the link in the description for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DunnaDidIt to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. Now that we're all ready to build our websites, let's talk about the things I like and the things that I didn't like so much about this bag. Overall, I've been really happy with this bag. I'm a big guy, so I wanted a big bag, something that I could carry a lot of stuff when I'm traveling or when I'm going back and forth to work. And it was important to me to be able to take a certain amount of camera gear, but also have somewhere to keep other things, not just a camera backpack, but something that I could take everything I needed on any given day, all in one bag. So let's start off with the things that I like about it. I like the camera cube. I think they've done a really good job with it. I like the dividers. I like how easy it is to customize. And I like the side access, although I don't use it a whole lot. And I like the way that the back opens to get at that camera cube. Like I mentioned before, I love all the storage and I love how big the backpack is. Now, this might not be a positive point for everybody if you're not 6'1" like I am, but they do have a smaller version called the 21 liter that has the same functions, but a slightly smaller camera cube and a little bit less space in the top. So if you're looking for exactly what I've got here, but a little bit smaller because you're a smaller human, then that might be a better option. I really like the materials that they've used. They're super rugged. All of the zippers are weather resistant, which is really nice. I have beat the crap out of this thing and it still looks almost like it's new. I really like the water bottle / tripod holder. I think that's a really nice addition and they've done it really well. And the most important thing that I love about this is the roll top. The roll top idea is just so awesome for me because it adds so much extra space, but when you're not using it, it folds down into just a small regular size backpack. I also actually love how light the backpack is. When there's nothing inside it, it's really light comparatively to some other bags that I've had. And that makes a huge difference because I like to carry a lot of gear and the last thing I want to do is also have a heavy bag to add to the load. Now, let's get into the cons, if you will, or the things that I think could be improved if they were to do like a version 2 of this. The top pouch that is supposed to be for like a cell phone or whatever, where I said I keep my batteries, actually goes into the roll top. So it takes up some of the space in the roll top and it can be kind of tough to get at if you're using the roll top and you have a bunch of stuff in there. I don't really have a solution for how they could have done that better, but I do find that that gets a little bit annoying sometimes. Trying to take the camera cube out and put it back in, I really don't like doing it, and I can never quite get it back in nice until it's like settled for a month. So I mostly just leave it in there. I think I took it out once or twice when I first got this bag and then I decided never to do it again. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but you know, it just seems to be a little too complicated for me anyway. The zippers can be a little bit difficult at times, and I think part of it is that the zippers go all the way to the end, which makes them just a little bit hard to get started. And then if we close this up, but really once you get them started, they're nothing. So that's like kind of a half and half one. And the last thing is just the price. It's a little bit more of an expensive bag. It's not your Amazon special by any means. That being said, I don't think that it's too expensive for what you're getting out of it. I just want to make a point that it's not the cheapest bag out there. If you were watching this review hoping to get a budget backpack, that's not really what this is. This is more of an investment in your camera gear being safe and, you know, your back basically, because it does a good job. So now the question is, who is this bag for? I think this bag is great for people who need to carry around their camera gear every day, but also want to carry other stuff. Maybe you're going to work and you need to like carry a lunch like I do. And I also think the big winner for this is for people who are traveling. I think that it's super awesome that you have essentially an entire camera bag with another bag on top that I personally have still taken as a carry-on onto a plane. And the easy access on the side makes it super nice to get to to your camera gear. When you're out traveling, that can be super important because you don't want to miss that moment, whatever's going on right in front of you. If you're interested in taking a closer look or buying this, there is a link in the description. It's an affiliate link, so it helps the channel out without costing you any extra. Like I said earlier, leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think of the features of this bag? Do you have any experience with it? And while you're on your way down, hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss anything from this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.